everybody, it's Auntie Mary again, and today's session is one of the sessions that lots and lots and lots of parents keep asking me about it. My child cannot hold the pencil, the teacher is complaining, he cannot cut, he cannot. Now I just want to confirm that it all comes with practice. Now, with our autistic kids, it's important to do that stimulation. It's an activity that can keep them busy, but we are just cautious, especially when we are doing the cutting, and we choose the correct scissors that are not sharp. And if your child is left-handed, please go and buy left-handed scissors. You find them usually with 2 different colors at the shop, C&A or whatever, but a small one like that is very suitable. And at the same time, it comes by practice. We first start cutting basic stuff. I cannot expect my child to cut the moment I give him the scissors. Autistic children will not be able to hold it properly. I need to teach him, but it's difficult to control it. So they will always be doing that. Now I take it from him and I start with open, shut them, so that they know this is how you hold the scissors. You will find them holding them like that, like that. You show them that's the proper way. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Now, they will not be able to cut unless their fine motor skills are strong. Don't get frustrated. If his muscles get strong, he will be able to do it. Now, if it's not strong, keep this for now. Please watch my other videos that show you what other activities you can do to strengthen the muscles. The moment the muscles are strong, then the child can start cutting. Exactly like the speech with our autistic kids. If the muscles and the articulation is not there, then he cannot speak. If he is unable to eat and chew the solid food, then we know that they need the therapy, they need a lot of blowing and sucking. And I've done many videos about the blowing and sucking. I've done one video about blowing and sucking and many fine motor skill activities that can help you to strengthen the fine motor skills. The moment my child is ready to or able to open and shut my scissors, I start. Now, I don't use expensive paper and I don't go and get white paper Tipex that goes in waste. I use these magazines. We all go shopping these magazines, and I just start by showing them how to go straight like that. And we can practice for as long as they are able to. Make sure your child is watched for safety. After a lot of training and practice, when your child is able to cut through halfway, they won't be able to do that, we can start cutting. Now another thing, if they can't cut, we can start showing them how to tear like that. And when you tear longwise, long. Okay, now I don't know, it's just going swingy, but a lot of tearing is one step to start holding the scissors and cutting nicely. Okay, so I've used that paper. Now I think my child is able to cut. I get paper, the normal paper. Now my autistic child here is progressing. This is what he has been doing. Now I just draw these lines here for him to cut, and I have 2 options. I either use the normal Tipex paper, or this is a little bit hard for him to control holding it. Go the way your child can go. Just if he can't go on the lines, it doesn't matter. But as long as he knows how to hold the scissors and cut in straight, that's one good step. After that, we start practicing going through the lines. Now this is another easy one, because that's a sun here with just some rays, and it's easy where the child can just reach halfway. Now see what is suitable for your child and start practicing that. After the child is able to cut, then at the very advanced stage where we start taking like these nice game magazines, and I say, oh, let's go shopping today. What do you want to buy? They always go to that side, the bicycle. Let's go buy a bicycle. And I can't really ask him to cut it nicely, but he can cut here, just on that frame. Just on that frame, and so on. It's a lot of fun. It's like a magazine we read to, oh, look at this, what do you use this for? And that's a baby pram, and you can make it a nice conversation, but you choose what he wants to cut, and we cut into a shape. Don't expect it to be perfect, because we are still in the process of learning how to cut and use the scissors. Okay, now school readiness and the pencil and the writing and all that. That is an advanced stage. Please watch my other videos for practice for fine motor skills. The child cannot hold the pencil properly, cannot write, cannot do that unless he is ready for that. I also would advise you to watch the integrated learning therapies video about school readiness. It is an awesome video done by Professor Shirley Cockett, and she explains how the wiring happens and the shooting of the neurons, and that's what I say, the beauty of integrated learning therapy. You can find it in the website www.ilt.ca.za. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of activities that I use with my autistic, hyperactive, preschool kids, all kids that want to get fine motor skills stimulated. But again, it cannot happen unless the child is ready or wired properly. And I am confirming this happens when the child has gone through the therapy that our lovely integrated learning therapy teaches. And you can find a practitioner that is close by you from the website that I've just given you. But here are some stimulation ideas. Now, if the child is not ready, he will not be able to do any of that. So therapy, and then this is treating the symptom. Therapy is treating the cause. Now here, holding the pencil, I always tell my kids and my parents, this is how you hold it, and it's meow, 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 meow. The kids love the sound of the cat, and you need to teach it to them, especially autistic kids. You give them a pencil or a crayon, it's like that. Now that's a thin pencil. Now we use thick crayons and thick pencils until they can move to that one. I also have some pencil grips that you can buy from Game. They are triangular to help the child hold the pencil nicely, but it's again after you've done the therapy. Now we agreed the child will hold like this automatically. You put it like this, meow, 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 and the child starts coloring. Now, parents, my child is not coloring nicely. They're coloring outside the line. Of course, it's a practice. It's a skill. Now, to color inside needs strong, fine motor skills so that he can control his grip to color inside. Again, fixing it is not the practice. Fixing it is through the therapy that gets the wiring of the neurons and the transmission of neurons so that the child can do it nicely. Now I'm going to show you a few things that I use with my kids. Before anything, now a whiteboard is very much recommended, where I can use the washable and I can just draw a circle. For example, ask the child to color. Now he will go up. Now my circle here is to tell him these are your boundaries, and you color inside here. Okay, they will do up and down. You keep guiding them that it needs to be inside. Then can I have a tissue, please? Thank you. This is washable, and you wash. Now I need another shape again. Any shape. I'm not teaching the child the shapes, especially my autistic. I'm giving them the boundaries where they can color. They can go up and down. It doesn't matter. Now, what if I don't have a whiteboard? I've come up to something that I found very interesting. Just an empty colored piece of paper, and I laminate it. I've got my lamination machine. I laminate it, and I can use it as a wipe off and do whatever I want to do with it. Then you can choose the color that your child likes and use it like that. Now this is a tile, just a cheap tile that I found, and again, because it's like laminated, I can use it here. Now these whiteboards are brilliant, not only to teach them to control, but it's a lot of fun, especially when the child knows that this wipes here, and again, it's a fine motor hand-eye coordination. I use it a lot if I start to teach the child to match. With dots, I do dots like that, and I get the child to, but I have to show him first. Now join, now join, now join. And we can take as long as we want to get the child to join the dots. I can also use my cheap whiteboard or colored board by getting teaching the child to match. If I draw like a flower here and another flower here, and I put a ball and another ball, and I simply ask the child, where is semi, where is difference, this semi, no, and then we come to match. Autistic kids need that small basic skill before we move them to books. Moving to books is an advanced stage, but that's the beginning. That is the start. Okay, so I move from that to something I found very nice from the Usborne group. I was attending a conference and I found this very interesting. It's the same idea like here, laminated with a washable pen, and you can make your own. Now, of course, this is not suitable for the autistic child I'm working with now, but it's the ideas that you get. Now, I'm not teaching him number 3 or the colors, but I can see this big fat stomach here, so that after I have taught him to join the 2 big dots on here, we can start moving here. And this is a book that's got the ABC and the numbers, but I will use that later on, not now when I am using the alphabet or so on, but for now I can use to join dots, and it's colorful, and again it's very easy to wipe, the same idea that we get these from. Next I move to that control. The child now has learned from my whiteboard and from my wiping paper that I know how to join. I leave the pencil and the paper at last stage, but it's important to expose the child to paper and pencil. And we just take it and start from here. We read the instructions, and it moves on from easy to more difficult, and all sorts of shapes, and this is a lot of fun that we can give to our kids, but again it's an advanced stage. We see where the child is and we take him to one more challenge, and I leave that to you, because don't put high expectations from your autistic kids or your hyperactive kids. Go the pace. When they master step 1, please move them to step 2. It's not a race. It's not a challenge. It's not who's winning or you can't do it and a frustration. It is a game that we love to do it, and we love to share our time with our kids. Make sure your child is happy and enjoying the game, and see you in something else. Thank you. Bye bye.